You can go from $0 to $10,000 per month on Upwork as a freelancer. You have to understand two things and then do one thing very well. That's how you can go from $0 to $10,000 within, let's say, a month or two on Upwork as a freelancer. Again, let me explain this properly so that you understand what I'm saying. So I know what you're thinking right now. You might be saying, oh, well, I need experience. I need to know X, Y, and Z. No, you actually don't need too much of experience for you to rise up from $0 to $10,000 per month. All you need to do, like I'm saying, you need to understand these two things, and that's what this video is about. By the way, if you are new to this channel, my name is Jessica Ma. I am a full-time freelancer on Upwork. I'm a professional product manager, so I'm basically providing mentorship to people who wants to in their freelancing career, who wants to work from home. So if you're one of those people, I want you to be patient with me as I explain some of these things so that you understand. You know, a lot of people have been asking me, Jesse, why are you so successful on Upwork? How do you get to make over $100,000 in less than 8 months? And I usually try to explain this to people, but a lot of time people don't understand. They don't seem to understand what I'm explaining. So I was just thinking that, okay, how can I explain this to people so that you understand properly how you can really make success, how you can become successful on Upwork without you downplaying yourself. All right. The first thing that you have to understand is that when you are working as a freelancer, your experience level or the number of years of your experience is not too important like 9-to-5 jobs. All right. So imagine this: when you come from the university, you apply for certain jobs. They will ask you that you have to have something like maybe a year or 2 or 3 years of experience before you can get maybe any job, right? They normally kind of have those kind of criteria. But with freelancing, you are actually not tied down to that kind of condition. Most times, people don't even put a requirement or number of years of experience in most job adverts. So all what you need to do is to sharpen your technical skills. You just need to work on your technical skills. And even if you are fresh from the university, if you are technically competent, and then you backed it up with small amount of soft skills, you can rise from $0 to $10,000 on Upwork at any time. It does not matter. But you cannot do this with a 9-to-5 job, because a 9-to-5 job, they have strict rules. You cannot just jump from one level of earning to another level of earning. All right. The next thing you have to understand is flexibility. It's called flexibility. Now, when you are a freelancer, the reason why you must work very hard to become a freelancer is because of this particular word called flexibility. There is huge flexibility within freelancing. Most people, when you mention the word flexibility, what they are thinking is vacation. You know, I can work from anywhere. No, that's just one part of the coin. That's just one side of the coin. All right. But there is flexibility for you to work with different. The other side of the coin is you have flexibility to work with different clients. You can work with different clients and you can work with multiple clients. So this is why you can scale your business. That's what most people don't understand. So when I talk to people, when it comes to freelancing, the first thing I will tell you is learn how to become a hardworking somebody. You have to know how to work very hard. You must be smart, of course. That is fundamental. That's why I talked about competence. You have to be a very smart person. But then you have to also add to that smartness, you have to add hardworking, right? You have to be very hardworking and consistency. All right. So if you have that combination of smartness, you are competent, and then you are also hardworking. It means the flexibility you have in freelancing can help you to scale fast. So let me explain this in practical terms. So when I began to work on Upwork, I started with a single client. In fact, that client was paying me $5 per hour, right? Within the space of a week or two, I scaled that to 2 clients. The second client was paying me $18 per hour. Within a month, I scaled that to 3 clients. Do you see how consistent this is? Because I was very hardworking, I was consistent, focused, I was able to scale. So I started with $5, where I was making something around, you can calculate $5 times 40 hours. All right. I was making less than $1,000, right? And then I moved from that level to a level where I was making up to $2,000 per week. This is a weekly earning. All right. So if you put that together, at the end of the month, I'm making very close to $8,000 or $9,000. So within the space of 3 months, I was able to scale it up to $10,000. Do you see? Because I have the flexibility to leave a client and take on a new client who is paying me more than this other client. However, you need to know how to do this very well, because this is where a lot of people they make the mistake. And that is the next thing that I want to talk about: how to self-manage very well. Now, I want you to pay attention, my friend. If you watch this video up to this level, it means you really want to do freelancing and you really want to be successful. Self-management is the key. Now, most people strive very hard to get their first job, which is good. When they get their first job, they relax. And when you relax, what happens is that clients will come back and hit you very hard, because they want you to keep that peak. That's your peak, that spark that was in you when you got the job for the first time. All right. And you have to keep that peak and keep working very hard. You understand? So most people don't have the ability of self-management. They want the flexibility to become a freelancer and then have this flexibility to work from anywhere, work from home, and they can move around the globe or something like that. But they don't have the discipline to self-manage. And if you don't have the discipline to self-manage, what will happen is that you will look incompetent. Even if you are technically competent, you will look incompetent because you don't have the ability and discipline to self-manage yourself. So what does self-management means in practice? So it means that you are able to manage your time. You must be able to manage your time. You must know how to divide your time among clients. Let's say you have 1 or 2 clients. Let me take a step back so that I take this all over again so that you understand properly what I mean. So the first step is, when you get your first client, you have to decide how much time do you have in your hands for you to be able to work with another client. That's the first thing. Number 2, you have to decide, if you have a client, you are working with that client 40 hours a week, what type of jobs should you go for next on the platform? All right. You can't have a client who you are working for 40 hours a week, and then you have a second client who you are working for 20 hours a week. Now you have 60 hours. You have to work 60 hours a week, which means you have to track 60 hours. Then your next job, you have to think, do I need to go for an hourly contract or do I need to go for a fixed contract? Smart. This is what I mean by self-management. So you have to make these decisions. And when you make this decision, how many active hours really am I working with these 2 clients that I only have? How many active hours? So what do I mean by active hours? In any job, you are not expected to work throughout, right? So let's say I'm working for a client for 40 hours Maybe I'll work up to 30 or 35 hours, which is active work. But then the rest of the 5 hours might be, maybe I will be doing something else. I'll be working for the client, but I will not be like actively engaged. And this is also another difference that most people don't understand. When you are working as a freelancer, you are expected to be engaged. It's not like a 9 to 5 where you relax throughout the day. You can take 1 or 2 days not doing anything. But as a freelancer, on a daily basis, you have to have deliverables and you have to deliver. All right. So you have to have this capacity within yourself to self-manage if you want to scale. And scaling is one of those things that most people, they rush into without understanding, without having the discipline to self-manage. And if you don't know how to manage yourself, how to manage your time. So my friend, if you are hardworking and if you know how to manage yourself and you want to scale fast on Upwork, it is possible for you to do so, because I have done it. I have scaled up. I have created a system for myself that helps me to earn more. Most people that we have like similar skill sets, I earn more because I've created a system of self-managing myself. I have time when to do X, Y, and Z. I have time for my family. I have time for different things, but I still make the same amount of money. So if you've watched up to this level, I want you to comment on this video and say self-manage. All right, learn how to self-manage. And I want you to spend time to learn the basics of self-management, time management, making sure you are productive. And if you learn those basics, then you become successful and you can rise from $0 to $10,000 per month on Upwork. Thank you and see you on the next one.